Hi, my name is Tony Gard. I am the Director of Innovation here at Kinetic Vision, and we are actually sitting right now in the cafe inside our brand new Innovation Center. And sitting next to me is Caitlin Moores, who is the Manager of Visualization here at Kinetic Vision. So Caitlin, welcome.
Thank you.
Today we're going to be discussing everything visualization. What does that mean? What's the context of that? So can you tell everybody a little bit about what visualization is?
Yeah, absolutely. Visualization is a really broad category of, really developing video, graphics, content that explain complex things. It's not just one thing, it's not just an image or a PowerPoint, but it's really about developing the entire narrative and really distilling ideas down into their key components and augmenting them with visual content.
The term storytellers come up a lot, right? And especially with your group, you guys use that term a lot. I love that term, but the impact of a storyteller can change based on the actual teller of the story, right? And so what makes you all unique from that perspective?
At Kinetic Vision, we are in an environment surrounded by cutting-edge technology, engineering, the sciences, R&D. And so I always tell people we really excel in those scientific stories, those complex ideas that not every audience is going to get the first time. And I think that us being in this environment, having these kinds of topics in our vocabulary, in our dictionary, to form our own expertise, but then have unlimited access to all of this additional expertise here at Kinetic Vision makes us uniquely equipped for these complex scientific stories. We're going to be able to integrate data and genuine designs and models and things in progress, unlike any other type of agency. It's amazing.
Are you engaging with all of those people on a regular basis?
Absolutely, yes. Both here internally, our internal experts, but also our experts on our customer side. When you're crafting a story, a message, a narrative, you need empathy for your audiences and also for the person who wants to tell the story. We're sort of this very unique center of being able to communicate and empathize with our customers and our clients and their subject matter experts, but then also bridge the gap to communicate with their key audiences who may be in the same field or in a totally different field as them.
So visualization encompasses a lot of different tools. It may seem very simple from the surface, but there's a lot of different things you can do. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
Our bread and butter is 3D animation. And so I think when a lot of people think about 3D animation, they immediately think of Disney, Pixar, entertainment, and there's actually a ton of overlap with those tools. We're using the same kinds of technologies and work processes that they'll use in entertainment, but for crafting narratives and messages for these more scientific focused communications. And then I think what's really interesting is what are some of the inputs into those softwares are interesting as well. And so utilizing scanning tools to generate assets for our videos, utilizing motion capture from our motion capture studio into our videos as well, all brings, a realism and a sense of life to our work that adds to the authenticity of the content that we generate.
So you're saying part of your tools, because if someone's watching and they do not have 3D assets, you're saying you can quickly create those?
Correct, yes, that's part of our process. So what's interesting is we can work from the 3D assets somebody has, product models they may already have, but similarly, sometimes that stuff has to be made. You have to generate digital replicas of the products that we're going to feature or things that demonstrate how the products work.
So if someone were to come in and say, okay, Caitlin, I love what you're saying. I need a story told. Walk me through how that starts out and how that process begins.
I love in those first steps to be able to have a very extensive conversation where they teach me about who they are and what they do, what they're excited about, and what their product or their process is. We absorb that like a sponge to be able to translate that for another audience. So those first steps, it's a lot of in-depth but meaningful conversation that gives us the information and the backstory to start to tease out what do they want to say and how do they want to say it.
So in essence, it's kind of like you want to sit down and have a cup of coffee with them, right?
Absolutely,
Have a conversation. Well, Caitlin, I want to thank you for spending time with us today and sharing your expertise, the value that you bring. I think it's amazing. For those of you who don't know this process or Caitlin, I encourage you to reach out to her. Caitlin, I'm going to do a little cheers here on our coffee. Thank you for having coffee with me today.
Absolutely, thank you.
And thank you for joining us.